right, all right. Yeah. Well, let me do the opposite of 8 Mile and turn my headphones down. Go into
We get so wrapped up in numbers in our society, and the most important thing is that we're able to be one to one, you and I, with each other at the moment. That's what's important.
all right. We got the new news background. It look all professional, whatnot. All right. I'm gonna give it like a couple minutes, but this gonna be a. We gotta get this stream started. It's gonna be a tough stream. Ugh. All right, I'm diving in. I'm diving in. All right, let's go over the classroom rules. Y'all know what it is. Rule number one: absolutely no doxing on this channel. We do not dox. Doxing is for losers. We are winners. No doxing. Rule number two: no swearing in the chat before 9:30 p.m. I sometimes have a younger audience of friends and family join, so I want to be respectful of the minors in the audience. So let's use PG-13 friendly language. Actually, not even PG-13 these days. Let's use G friendly language. No PG stuff. Rule number three: be nice to everybody. I think that's important. If you don't have anything nice to say it under your breath. Rule number four: absolutely no work discussions. I don't mean I don't mean that. That's not true. When I say no work discussions, I just mean like I don't need to know where you work at. I don't need to know your boss name. Nothing about the city you work in. I don't care about any of that. We might talk about like what programming language you work in at your job. What's your favorite project you ever did without giving too much detail. But yeah, besides that, let's try and keep work out of it. And rule number five is similar to the Fight Club rules, which is obey all these other rules. Okay, that's rule number five. Obey every other rule. All right. So let's talk about what we'll be doing today. So I know it's been a while since we did a real project. I think the last few times we've been streaming, it's been like, hey, here's how to do this specific thing, and here's what this tool is capable of, and stuff like that. But we are graduating, okay? We are evolving to deliver our first real project today. Okay, so we're gonna dig deep. We have a few things on the task list that we have to knock out. The first thing we have to do is we need to create ourselves a Vercel account. So for those of you who don't know, Vercel is a like a hosting slash the CI/CD as a service platform. So it puts all of those different tools on the web. So it allows you to kind of streamline deploying websites really quickly from development to deployment, right? So it's really fascinating tool, and it out of the box connects with all of the other tools we've been getting familiar with, right? So like Sanity and Next.js and any other modern frameworks you can think of. I mean, it has a bunch of things that it works with. Actually, let me share the browser so you guys can kind of see what's so awesome about this tool. So here we're on the Vercel website, and I want to just kind of take a look at the technologies that they allow you to work with. So if we go to the integrations tab here, we can see here immediately, right? Wow, Contentful's #1 on their list. That's interesting. Fun fact, in a really soon to come sprint, I mean, not sprint, but in a soon to come stream, we're going to be setting up our own Contentful CMS and playing around with that, seeing how that works under the hood. So really excited for that. But yeah, you can just see that they have all of these out of the box integrations, right? They got some Contentful stuff, Sanity, which is what we're going to be doing today. They got Supabase, Tinybird, MongoDB. They got a bunch of other stuff. Look at all these AI specific things here. This is really interesting. Modal, which is what most people are probably familiar with or have heard of. I know that's the one I know about. Perplexity API. So all of these different machine learning kind of API systems. Vercel has a seamless integration path for you. 11 Labs. We all know about 11 Labs. I think we actually used 11 Labs last week for some stuff. I know I was using 11 Labs when I was doing the speech AI stuff, so that was fun. Got some analytic stuff in here, more content management stuff in here. Makeswift, right? Sitecore, Content Stack, a lot of good stuff here. Code repositories. They have the two big dogs of the game right now, Bitbucket and GitHub, but they also have GitLab in here, right? Shopify, of course. Wix under Commerce. It's a really cool tool, guys. Really cool tool. So we're going to be creating ourselves an account. And the way it was explained to me, right? The way it was pitched to me is, hey, modern dev guy, this thing is so easy to use that after you create an account, you'll be basically like guided through integrating not only your Vercel setup and deployment, but you'll be able to integrate that to GitHub and Sanity without you having to do much heavy lifting. And then you'll be able to tie all of that together with a front-end interface via Next.js. So we're going to put that theory to the test, right? We're going to... I've already signed up for an account. So it's a free tiered account. If we look at the pricing page here, you can see that they do offer a free tier hobby account. And the way I like to look at the hobby account for Vercel is like, let's say you're working on a portfolio website just for you, right? It's your real information. It's like an online resume for you. That thing's not gonna get a lot of traffic, okay? Your online resume is not gonna go viral. You're not gonna get past 100,000 views in a month, okay, ever. It's just a link that you share out to your friends or to your LinkedIn or to your prospective clients, right? So it's gonna get really low traffic. Vercel is perfect for that. They have this free account where if you keep it under a certain threshold, you don't have to worry about paying for it, okay? I don't know if eventually you do get to a point where they're like, all right, you know, you've hit X amount of deployments. Sorry, you know, you can't deploy anymore. I don't know if they have that kind of a thing in place, but we can actually look at some of this. I think most of what you'll see here under the hobby tier, let's actually go through this, okay? Because I have a feeling that this will never get breached under the free tier. So they have this 100 gig a month of bandwidth. So this is like traffic, right, between us, like our local development and Vercel. Okay, so doubt I'll ever hit that with a simple resume website. Fast origin transfer. So this is more bandwidth. Let's read this. Data transfer between our edge network and compute for dynamic responses. Previously part of bandwidth pricing. So data transfer between our edge network and the end user. So okay, so this is the one where we're sending data from our locals to Vercel, and then this is Vercel sending their data to the cloud, I think. Edge network and compute for dynamic responses. I'm actually not sure. I'm gonna read into this. I want to see what this is. FOT represents data transfer between Vercel's edge network and Vercel functions. Functions enable running compute on demand without needing to manage your own infrastructure. Okay, so this is a little different than what I thought then. This is slightly different than what I assumed it was. I think what the Vercel functions actually are is the ability to say, like, in my local environment, right, I'm gonna be working on some code and then I'm gonna push it up to GitHub. Now, a Vercel function could kick in and say, now that you've pushed that code up to GitHub, I'm gonna spin up a preview environment for you automatically. You don't have to do nothing, right? I'm gonna spin up a preview link for you, which we'll see that tonight. Actually, we're gonna see that live. But I think that's what this is referring to. So now that we know that, right? We know that the fast origin transfer is actually them doing your job for you, doing the continuous deployments for you. And then I'm guessing the edge network and the end user. All right, we got to read into it. If we don't get it, when a user visits your site, the data. Oh, okay. All right, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. So this is actual traffic coming into your site. Because remember, Vercel is a hosting platform, right? So basically, when we host our site on Vercel, it's free. Like if we go over here to the Combo Junkie website that we built, this is still all Vercel, right? No one's ever going to hit this site because who cares, right? But this is actually Vercel, right? This is Vercel hosting this. This is the way that the world gets. Like you guys can hit this from your phones right now. You'll see the mobile view. Like this is actually live on the internet, and Vercel's hosting that. Okay, so they are saying that as far as regular everyday traffic is concerned, okay, you get 100 gig a month of everyday traffic. So the real question would be, all right, modern dev guy, how much bandwidth does this one request take? Like if I just reload this page, how much bandwidth does that take, right? I'm not sure. I highly doubt it's anywhere near 100 gig though. I highly doubt it's anywhere even remotely close to 100 gig. I would argue that this is less than a kilobyte for me to request this one page. But we can actually see in our network tools here. Can you guys see that on the stream? Yes, you can. Okay. We should be able to see in here how big this one request is. So here's the request here, and it's only 77 bytes, right? So let's actually do some Google Calculate, right? Let's say Google bytes to gigabytes, okay? Let's say how many bytes is in, I want to do it the other way around. I want to say gigabyte is here and byte is there. So we want to say 100 gigabytes. That was 1E. Can I see the real number? It's an exponential function, but all right, it's a lot, right? That's a lot of zeros. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so it's about 10 billion bytes, something like that. It's a lot, okay? You'd have to hit this page. So we got 80 bytes here. 80 bytes over 10 billion is what? Let's calculate that. Whoops. I just want to calculate this. I'm really interested now. So 10. Really? They're not going to. Okay, 10, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3. Over 80. Yeah, so you still have about 12 and a half. 125 million? Oh, 125 billion. So maybe that was even bigger than billion. I don't know. It was like a trillion or something. So I don't know. Yeah, I think you're gonna have to hit the page loads of times to even come close to that 100 gig number. Okay, that is just, it's seemingly impossible. I wouldn't even bat an eyelash at it. I wouldn't worry about it. So coming down the list. Okay, so this is how much traffic we can get from our end users. This is how much traffic we can send up to Vercel, right? 10 gigabytes a month. We'll never breach that. We'll look at how big our code base is tonight. Doubt we're ever going to hit that. Edge requests, let's see what that looks like. When visitors requests are made to an edge network, traffic is routed to the nearest region. All right, so this is 1 megabyte a month. Oh, this is just the optimized stuff. I think this actually just sends it over to the nearest edge network region. Traffic is routed to the nearest region. Okay. Not only functions use the edge runtime. Edge requests are for all requests made to your site, including. You know the question though, guys. You know the question is, if I'm on the free tier, do they just stop optimizing it? I think, you know what? I think they still send the request through if I'm on the free tier. They may just stop optimizing it. Right? They may just say, I don't care what region you're coming from, we're gonna send you to wherever we want. Right? So regardless of what region the visitor's in, we're just gonna send that user to whatever available load balancer we have. Edge middleware invocations. Let's see what that is. middleware overview. Code that executes before a request is processed on a site. Based on the request, we modify the response. Okay, so I believe this is things like yeah. Here we go. I was gonna say redirects. Okay, and another thing I was thinking about when it comes to this is I was thinking about the feature flags. So they have this ability to say like, hey, I have this feature on my site, but I want to only deploy it in a certain scenario. Like maybe if the user has a certain cookie, they can see this new feature. Or maybe I'm doing some kind of test. Well, no, they actually have A/B testing here. But maybe I'm doing some other thing, or maybe I'm doing like a blue-green deployment, right? I'm doing a blue-green deployment. I just deployed this new site. This new feature, and I'm gonna show a certain percentage of my traffic this new feature, right? Or maybe I'll just enable this new feature on the back end via this feature flag. I'll set that to true, and if it blows up my site, I'll set that feature to false. You know, the world never knows it exists, right? So they're saying that we get a megabyte. I think this is maybe a million. So this might be a static, like a flat million, right? A month. I think that's what that represents, right? 1 million a month. And then the same can be said for the middleware invocations. Let's see. Yeah, that's weird. So the middleware invocation. So okay, yeah, no, it's the same thing. Okay, I just repeat that. And then source images. A source image is the value that's passed to the source prop. A single source image can optimize images. Blah blah blah. For example, if you are on a pro plan and have passed 6,000 source images, source prop, as bill, it's like your bill would be $5 for optimize. Okay, so yeah, we have to keep in mind that Vercel is a web server, right? It's a hosting platform. Let's be real. So our files are taking up like server space, disk space. So they're getting paid for hosting some of these images that we use. If you are on a pro plan and have passed 6,000 prop in the last billing cycle, your bill would be $5 for optimized image. You are billed for the number of unique source images requested during the billing period. And what are they saying here? Oh, you get a very that is. I feel like both of these are small, but I don't know. I don't know how many images a resume site would have, but I think we can conclude that the hobby version of Vercel is fine for anyone working on a website or web experience that either A, is not meant to be viewed by a bunch of people, like you're literally just making it for yourself and that's it, or B, you're in a very beginning like POC phases of a site and you'll gradually increase the amount of throughput over time, right? You'll gradually increase, like you'll move to the pro tier if you find that you are breaching some of these numbers and your traffic is growing and you need the throughput. We are going to be on the hobby account today. I'm going to actually log into our Combo Junkie account. We're going to be starting there. We're going to stay there. That is where we're going to go. It looks like there's a few other things too, like for compute. We get these things. I'm not even going to worry about these. I genuinely don't think. Look at that. And then you get all of this automation stuff too out of the box with the free tier. Because I think they want to show off their, stretch their legs a little bit, right? They want to show you why it's so cool. So yeah, no, this is awesome. We're going to keep this. We're going to go ahead and log in and get started with our project. So how did I set this up before? I believe I was set up with GitHub. So we're going to see here in a second if that's true. And that is true. This is, of course, our Combo Junkie website. This is our back end. So here's the Combo Junkie website. We are, of course, going to be making a brand new project today. We are going to use one of these starter kits from Sanity to see if we can just go straight to the deploy phase, right? Without writing any code. So let's go ahead and get started with that. I'm going to go over to the Sanity website and look at some of the starter templates. All right. And then right there, right, boom, right off the bat, we see we have a clean Next.js Sanity app. I'm actually not going to use this though. I'm going to start out on the Vercel side of the fence. I'm going to say I want to add a new project in Vercel. I'm gonna browse these templates, okay? And let's go over here to the CMS. Let's see if there's Sanity, and let's see if there's like a super awesome blog starter kit. And here we go, right? Blog with native content editing, a Sanity powered blog with native content editing and instant previews. That sounds really good. Is it Next.js powered though? I don't know. Here's another one, a statically generated blog example using Next.js and Sanity. Looks really basic. I don't know if that's what we want. I really like the sound of this. A minimal blog website template built with Next.js Tailwind, which I'm a huge fan of Tailwind. We're gonna start here. Let's see if this has the preview. There's a free version, on-demand revalidation, category page, author page, and search page. I don't think they give you any of that. I think they're just gonna give us the home page. We don't get any of those other pages. I could always buy this version. I could buy this if I wanted to. I just don't know if we want to pay for this right now. Yeah, I don't know if we want to use. You got the support. This is a really minimal product here. So I think these are, I don't know if this is going to be, oh, okay, this is from Web3 templates. So, let's see what this one looks like. This first one did catch my eye at first. Where are my, oh, so it's not, I don't even get a side-by-side. I think they just give us stuff on this one. So this starter is a statically generated blog that uses Next.js for the front end and Sanity to handle its content. Comes with a native Sanity Studio that offers features like real-time collaboration and visual editing with live updates using presentation. This is the Sanity's latest preview mode. The studio connects to Sanity Content Lake, which gives you hosted content APIs with a flexible query language. That's the Grok query language they're referring to. On-demand image transformations, powerful patching, blah, blah, blah. Great stuff there. I think that actually sounds good. This sounds like a winner, in my opinion. Set up the environment, use the deploy button below. It'll deploy the starter using Vercel, connect it to your lake, set up the project locally. Yep, we'll clone the repository. So, yeah, all of this is pretty run-of-the-mill stuff. You know what, part of me, guys, I'm not gonna lie, part of me wants to see how much this blog costs. Because if it's not that bad, it's 50 bucks. I don't know. I might be leaning towards purchasing it. It's a, I don't know. Someone just gave me the eye. That was like, careful. You know what? Mobile responsive. It better be. See, the question that I would also have though is like, do you get the free preview? Do you get the preview mode here? Because if we have to do that ourselves, then that's not worth paying for it. Yeah, I just don't see the presentation mode there. That's interesting that they don't have that. Visual editing with Sanity. Let's see what this one is. This is Next.js, Tailwind, Sanity. Yep, this is exactly what we'd want. A performant, yeah, let's see what this is. This starter is pre-configured to support visual editing, a new feature that enables you to make changes using Vercel's draft mode and new edit functionality. It is a statically generated personal website that uses Next for the front end side. That is interesting. Visual editing, right? A new feature that, let's see what that is. That's a Sanity feature. I mean, that's a, I have to see what this is. All right, let's see. Let's get the real. All right, they're giving us the. You know what? So here's the thing, right? Visual editing is cool, but I guarantee you most publishers are gonna want side-by-side editing, like that preview, the presentation experience they have, right? I don't think they're gonna care very much. Let me be clear. Visual editing has its place. It's not gonna be as valuable as the presentation stuff. Look at this. They even have a plug here. Look at this CTA, right? Explore more ways to work visually with structured content, including the new in-studio experience presentation. Okay? So there's a path forward to eventually getting presentation mode. But what I like about that free implementation, this guy here, was it already came out of the box with like basically everything we want, right? It has Tailwind. Whoops, sorry about that. It has Tailwind, it has Next.js, Sanity, and yep, I'm sold. We're gonna use this. And this is completely free. I didn't see anything that says we'd have to pay for this. Ew, this is, the only bad thing is this is using Pages instead of app. So this doesn't use the new app setup. Ugh. All right, that just put a horrible taste in my mouth. Let's see if we can get what we're looking for from this guy. I think we already looked at this. Okay. Visual editing. Oh yeah, this has it too. This has what we want too. I have no idea why I would need to do any of this. So maybe this is like if you don't want to worry about using Vercel and you just want to grab this application to see what that looks like, you can use this. But I want to show you guys how hang on you guys, I got daddy duties. I got some daddy duties real quick calling me. Oh yeah, jeez Louise, it's on 77. Sorry. How about a good clean 74? Bring that down a bit. Okay, so yeah, I think we're gonna be using Vercel to deploy this, but if you wanted to just stand this up yourself to see what it looks like and configure it all yourself, totally fine to do that. Now, if you started with deploying your own, then you can run this to reuse the environment variables from the Vercel project and skip to the next step. Using the Sanity CLI. So we're going to be deleting this project tonight anyway, so I'm not going to hide any project variables. All right, I think I'm sold. I'm sold on this one being the... I'm sold on this one being the one that we use. Yeah, so all we're on the hook for tonight is actually standing up this blog. Nothing more, nothing less, right? So let's actually take a look at the demo. What do we get from this? Okay, so this is cute. This isn't horrible, right? This is not bad. These are some really short blogs. I hope this is a tag. Maybe this is the, yeah. This is like the logo, I guess. We are not going to be using this, by the way. I think in the end, we're going to be using our own, so eventually we will need to figure out how to do all of this manually, right? I don't think we need to do that tonight. Tonight's all about just creating the blog itself. But I think eventually we will want to use use a better template, and I already got the clearance to use a paid template from ThemeForest or some of the other template sites. So we're gonna have a really fancy, professional looking template, and at that point, what I'm thinking is that we will have a next application that then needs to connect back to Sanity from scratch. So we will have some time to learn how to figure that out, like learn how that stuff works. I think for now we are good to just say this is going to be our bare bones blog template. It doesn't look great, but it doesn't look horrible either. I'm fine with it. This is our landing page. I guess this is our feature story. And then we got more stories down here where we have a few really, really bad looking. It's not bad looking. It's not. I shouldn't say that. It's a little plain Jane, but it's fine for what we're doing. All right, let's do it. We're going to use it. Let's deploy. All right, so first step, it says we need to create our Git repository. We already, of course, have created a Git repository. I advise you guys do the exact same thing. Don't walk around as a developer without your very own GitHub repository. It's dangerous. So I can see here, we already have ours. I can always add this to an existing repository. I'm going to create a new one here called blog next sanity. No, I'll say next sanity blog. And yeah, it'll be private. I don't think there's a reason to make this one public. Yeah, this one shouldn't be public because we're going to have project IDs and keys and stuff that we don't want to share. So I'm going to just leave that as public for now. All right, integrations let you connect your Vercel project with third-party services. The following are required for Vercel's Next.js project. That's okay. I'll go ahead and add that. I think this is going to actually authenticate us too. So connect Vercel to sanity.io. I think I'm email authenticated for Sanity. So let me just connect that to Combo Junkie. Yep, there it is. And then I'm going to create a new Sanity project. And this is something we've gone over several times on this stream, so that shouldn't be too hard to understand. It looks like my vocals in the... Hang on. It looks like my vocals in the music was like the exact same volume. I need to make sure that's not the case. All right, so now we are in deployment mode. This is the beginning of the... this is just the beginning of the process, right? Let's see what it's doing here. It's installing some dependency. So it's going to run a build. It's going to clone that new branch that I just made. That it's going to clone a branch from the main branch from the new repository we just made. There is no previous build cache, right? So this is not available. The cloning was completed in about 300 milliseconds, so that's not bad. Then it's going to run Vercel build. So this is one of those Vercel functions that they were talking about. And the more frequent that you plan on making updates and deploying your site, the more you have to kind of watch out for those rate limits, because you can find yourself looking at, you know, a situation where you have hit the threshold. So just be careful of that. So it looks like we just have to kind of go through this deployment. Nothing fancy schmancy here. The simple stuff. Let's see how fast it builds though, right? It's been a minute already, still not done. Come on now. Chop chop. You're supposed to be the wave of the future. Get it together, Vercel. I thought you'd be done by now. Jeez Louise. I'm gonna take a bite out of this coleslaw. Delicious. Fantastic. Highly recommend it. All right. All right. Added 1,112 packages in 2 minutes. Not bad. All right, detected some of this other stuff. So it's going to run npm. I guess it assumes we want to use npm as our package manager. My puppy just came to say hello. Hey, you want to come say hi to the stream? Come on. Come on. Oh, good girl. Come say hi to the stream. I think they want to say hi. Say, hey, stream. Ugh. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Hello, streamers. Ah. Hello. Okay, she's being really fidgety. Hello, streamers. Hello. All right. This is Coraline. And yes, she's named after the movie. All right, looks like it is still going through some stuff. I have a feeling that this takes longer the first time you're deploying because it has to do everything from scratch. So yeah, we'll see what that looks like in a bit. All right, it looks like the build is complete, but the deployment's not complete. It's deploying the outputs now. And that's it, and we're done. Congratulations. We did it. We did it. We can go home. We can go home. We did it. All right, I'm kidding, guys. We are just literally just getting started. So, all right. So now that we have completed this, I want to go back to the document we were reading, right? I want to, guess we got to find it again. But I want to go, because I want to make sure we're following these instructions pretty closely, right? So, here, let me just go project. I genuinely don't know how to find it. That's the only reason I'm going here. CMS. And I think we went with this one. No, we went with this one. All right, so this is going to teach us how exactly we need to deploy this, right? So execute create next app with whatever. I don't think this is true though, right? Use the deploy button below. You'll deploy the example using Vercel as well as connect it to your Sanity dataset using the Sanity Vercel integration. So I'm not entirely sure what the point of these are, because I'm guessing Vercel has push a new branch to preview changes instantly, added domain, whatever. Okay, so this is now our Vercel backend. And that should be fine. I think if we make any changes, it'll connect all of those dots. But again, I feel like we're just getting started, right? If you started with deploying your own, then you can run this to reuse the environment variables from the Vercel project and skip to the next step. All right, so what I'm gonna do is this is really confusing. Like, I don't get why they added these steps this way. Let me go to the other one that was before this, actually. I'm wondering if one of these is a little more straightforward. Okay, so all right. It's actually really simple. It's actually really simple. Yeah, it's actually really simple. Okay, so I think they were just confusing us a little bit with the way they were describing it, but it's actually really simple. So if we go back here, we don't need any of this. I don't think we need any of this, right? It says to bootstrap the example. No, I don't think that's true, though, because we already have a code base now, right? So if we go over to our GitHub repository, we should now have a new repository called like Sanity Blog. Yeah, here it is. Right? So in theory, I should be able to just use my clone repo command and build this out locally. So let's head over to the IDE and see if that's true. I'm going to open this up and I want to make this bigger. That might be big enough. Ew, that might be too big. Ah, I just locked my machine. I wonder, is that too big? That might be too big. I don't think we need it to be that big. Yeah, let's go down one. All right, that's cool. Okay, so now I'm gonna just open this terminal. It might be PowerShell. Yeah. Let's make sure it's the Git bash that I need. No, you know what? I'm not even gonna play around with that. I'm just gonna open a recent project and I'm gonna build from that. So you guys should be able to see this. This is the next Sanity Clean. Oh, nope, can't use that. And here we go. Starter, is that still in place? Nope. All right, I know Trend Junkie's still here. All right, that's never going anywhere. All right, so now let's go CD out of here. Let's go to our sites directory. And here I just want to run that repo clone command, right? So I should be authenticated already. Yep, we were already authenticated, and now I should have a Next Sanity blog directory in here. Yep, so if I CD next, actually I'm going to do code Next Sanity blog, so it'll open. Yeah, so it should open that in a new folder for us. So I can go ahead and close this out now, and I'll just move this guy over. All right, cool. So now we have some setup to do, I think. I think we just need to do a little bit of setup so that we can connect Vercel, Sanity, and everything together, right? So if we come back to the steps, it assumes, I think it's assuming we've done this stuff, right? So this is what we just did when we pulled that branch down. I think that's what Vercel does for you when you deploy with Vercel. So we're going to do npx Vercel link. Oh, you know what? It's doing an npx Vercel pull here. So you know what? I don't think we needed to pull that branch down like that. I think we'll be able to do npx Vercel pull, and it'll pull this repo. You know what? So here's what we'll do. Here's what we'll do. Let's go back. I'm going to actually delete that Next Sanity blog. Right? I'm going to delete this. And then, I mean, if we need to get it back, we can always get it back. It's not a problem. But I'm just going to test this theory. I think once we run this, okay, I do want to proceed. Once we run this and then run npx Vercel pull, it's going to ask me like, hey, which project do you want to pull? We only have one, right? So it'll pull the right project. So first we need to log into Vercel. We're authenticated through GitHub. So this is going to take us back to the browser, right? Where it's going to be like, hey, I'm going to do some magic behind the scenes, and voila, right? I've authenticated you based on your GitHub credentials because we were already logged into GitHub on the browser. So now coming back to the IDE, all right, the next thing here was that login to Vercel was successful. So set up sites. What is that even? What is that question even asking? I guess? I don't know what that question's asking, guys. I can't lie. Which scope should contain your projects? Sure. I don't I don't know. Yeah, sure. What's your project's name? So I guess the idea is that we have, okay, look, let's start this over. Because I think the idea is that we'll have one directory that houses all of our Vercel projects. It's kind of a silly way to go about it because if you're going to be working with a developer that's somewhere else outside the country, like I'm the admin, right? So I'd obviously have like a Vercel directory or a sites directory like we have right now. But if another developer is working on your repository, they're not going to have all of this, right? They're not going to have every site. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it though, maybe this is the right directory. All right, we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to actually do this again, and instead of putting it in sites, I'm going to put it in, oh, snap. All right, well, I guess they're like, you don't have a choice but to put it in sites. All right, Combo Junkies projects is fine. Link to existing projects, sure. And then our project name is like Next Sanity Blog, I think. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, then no. Oh, it says link to existing project. Okay, all right. I just did that wrong. So that's fine. That's fine. Yes, here. I can't just hit enter for. All right, so we have the link now. So what if I do ls? Do I have Next Sanity blog? So now I think this is where we do the poll, I think this is where we do the poll. So just like how GitHub, I bet there's like a hidden Vercel. Yep, there it is right there. I was going to say, I bet there's a hidden Vercel directory. Just like GitHub establishes that a certain directory you're working in is a repository, right? A checked out repository or a checked out Git repository specifically. No, that's not specific. It could be Bitbucket or whatever. It's just a Git repository, right? Git, not GitHub necessarily, but a Git repository. You have this hidden Vercel directory. Let's look in here. All right, and then let's just open project.json and see what's in here. All right, project ID, org ID, don't care about that. All right, let's see what this thing is. Why do I have a hidden folder called Vercel in my project? The Vercel folder is created when you link a directory to a project. What does the project JSON file contain? ID of the Vercel project that you linked, ID of the user or team your Vercel project is owned by. Should I commit the Vercel folder? No, you should not share the hidden Vercel folder with anyone. Upon creation, it will be automatically added to your git ignore folder. All right, so we are just getting started. We're cooking with fire right now, or cooking with grease. I don't know what the phrase is. Hey, no, I actually like the other one better. Hang on, I want to see what this one does. Download the environment variables needed to connect Next.js in the studio to your npx Vercel pool versus npx Vercel environment pool. I don't know which one's which. I'm gonna follow this one since this is the kit that we're using. Hopefully this isn't too bad. Wait, what? Alright, I don't know what that was, but it looks like it was just having me do the same thing again. Oh, so that's what I don't like about this example. It's like using this blog, this like download. Like all of this was done for me though. Yeah, I really don't like the way this is having us do this right now. Like I have this code base already. All right, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do what they're asking. Oh, wait, hang on. Now I was in the wrong directory. Let's see if pull works this time. It did. It worked that time. It did work that time. All right. So now if I do cp-i, yeah, again, they want me to be in the directory already. Reuse remote environment. Yeah, this is such a weird workflow. I'm going to just go through it. I'm going to go through it the way they suggest and see what happens at the end. I have a feeling, though, it's not right. But I'm going to actually remove that hidden Vercel directory. We won't need it anymore because we're going to be doing this, which is going to create this Next Sanity blog for us. So I'm just going to hit enter. And PNPM is so much better than NPM. It's ridiculous. It's like so much faster, so much better at dependency management. I've had zero problems with it. So if I do an ls here, do I get, now I do have it, right? I do have that directory. So if we cd into Next Sanity, Next Sanity blog, ls on that, yeah, we're in here now, right? We're where we want to be. So actually I should be able to refresh this. Yep, there it is. There's all our files. Okay. All right, so now let's go back. Whenever you edit a Grok query, you update the TypeScript types by running npm run typegen. I don't understand this. Whenever you edit a Grok query, you update. What do they mean by that? Whenever you edit a Grok query, you update the TypeScript types. I guess we'll find out. I guess we'll find out as we go. I really don't know what they mean by that. But all right, I think now from here, we want to do this Vercel link, right, from the actual project directory. We want to do this Vercel link. Yes, we do want to set up this directory as a project. This is the scope we want. Found project, link to it, absolutely. Okay, and that time they did the found project because last time we weren't in the scope of an actual project. It was a little different. All right, so then we'll do this npx Vercel pull. Okay, so it grabbed all of those. And then now it's trying to say, hey, I want you to make a copy of your environment.local and name it environment. I want you to make a copy of your environment.local.example and name it environment.local. Right. So that's what they want us to do. So we'll go ahead and do that. We can actually do that from here if we wanted to. We can just copy this file and then we can paste it. But they're doing all this from the command line. So I'm just going to do what they suggest. It's just going to pop another environment.local in here. There it is. It's not filled in with any values, but I think when we run these setup steps, it's going to have us populate all of these with their sanity counterparts, right? So it's going to automatically connect these dots for us. Let's go ahead and run that npm run setup. And there's probably something in the where would it be? I think it would be in the there's a I can't remember where they keep it, but there's some it's in the package.json where they keep the setup. There it is. This is what really got run just then. Sanity at latest init. So this is literally what's interesting about this is the same command you would run if you're just starting a sanity environment like from scratch, right? So yeah, they just keep all those commands handy so you can run things like pnpm setup and it'll actually, it's an alias for this command. Or if you run pnpm dev, it'll be a shortcut for this command, right? So anyway, need to install the following packages: sanity at 341, which is probably the latest. Fine, go ahead and proceed. We don't care. We don't care. All right, I hit return there. It's taking forever. There it is. Okay. So we are going to create a brand new No, we're not going to create a brand new project. We're going to use this existing one because this is the one we just created a moment ago in Vercel using the deploy command, right? So we're going to use this. We're not going to use a new data set. We're going to use our production data set. Would you like to add configuration files for a sanity project in the Next.js folder? So I was told a long time ago that you don't want to add your sanity application inside of your Next.js folder. But I imagine for this example, it's fine. I think when we get into the final blog setup, we might change this. Do you want to use TypeScript? Absolutely. Would you like an embedded Sanity Studio? Hold on. Would you like to add configuration files? Why would you want to do that? Oh, maybe you do. Okay, I get it. I think I get it now. So would you like to add configuration files for a Sanity project in this Next.js folder? Remember, your Next.js application has to communicate back and forth with Sanity nonstop, right? So I'm guessing this configuration that they're referring to is going to be things like the Sanity client, right? So from Next.js, you always have to establish that client to fetch data from it. So I'm guessing this is like going to keep that configuration in the Next.js application. Now this next question is like, hey, if you wanted to, we can make it so that your Sanity Studio is like embedded inside of your Next.js application. So in order to get to the studio, instead of standing up a separate server, you can actually just go, myapplication.com/studio. We're going to say no here, because I think this at least gets us to the point that, yeah, we'll overwrite this. I think the reason I'm saying no on the embedded studio is it gets us a little closer to that end state that I was talking about, where we have a completely decoupled, Sanity Studio from the Next.js web application. All right, so this question here, we obviously have a CLI.ts file here. It already exists. They're asking if we want to overwrite it. I'm going to say yes, because I imagine whatever was there when we first pulled this down wouldn't have had all of the different config things that they're about to give us. So I'm going to hit yes there. Clean project with no schema types or a blog schema. So these are the actual files that you get from using this this kind of starter command, this sanity starter command. It looks like they do give us some. Yeah, it looks like they gave us two content types. They gave us a author and a post content type. And then we have this idea of a singleton. Not entirely sure what singleton is. It's a settings document. Title. This is interesting. I've never seen this before. Is this like an idea of like a page? We'll have to see what this is. Yeah, this almost looks like a single page. Yeah, that's interesting. All right, we gotta see what that is. I'll do the blog schema. File client.ts already exists. Yep, we do want to overwrite that. That's going to be something that they are the client.ts they're giving us. It's going to have everything that we need for this this instance of the project. Whatever we deployed from Vercel wouldn't have. I don't think it would have these details in there. Would you like to add the project ID and data set to your Yes, I would, absolutely. All right, and I think that's all done, which is great. All right, so far we have deployed from Vercel. We're good there. We are working locally. It looks like we just set up our project, okay? So if I do npm dev, I should go right to our Sanity, not Sanity, this should be our front-end Next.js application, right? So let's head over to the browser. That's gonna take a minute to load. I think it's gonna be configuring that too. So package path image is not exported from package home, whatever. That's interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen this one before. So package path ./image, which is the root. Let's go back here. So we knew we'd have some debugging to do, right? Not going to be just a clean build with no debugging. We have to do some debugging. So it's saying that inside of our app directory, it's looking for this is a hideous, maybe that's just me, but I really don't like that. All right, this is our draft stuff. So we can have preview routes. This is interesting. I guess the question is, look at that. Now we have all these schema types here, but then we have schemas here, which are not going to be connected up here. See, this is just all over the place right now. This is all over I don't like this one, guys. I don't like it. It's not clean. Oh, I see. All right. So we probably did some things wrong then. Because it's telling us that we do have to answer this in a specific way. Yeah, okay, all right. We'll go back a bit. It's okay. We'll go back a bit. So here, I'm actually going to go back as far as to say, I'm in the IDE right now. I'm going to actually kill that Next Sanity blog. And then I'm going to use Vercel. I'm going to do their process one more time. This is going to get us the directory we need. Okay, and then I'm gonna go back and do the link and pull. Once we get a hand, this is my bad. This is my bad. This is my bad. All right, and then we're gonna do link here. Yes. Yes. Found project link to it. Yes. All right, and then we'll do pull next. Right. It's gonna get that environment variables for us. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and do the copy. All right, and then now we're going to do the PNPM run setup. And this time we are going to we're going to try and follow what they are proposing here. I genuinely didn't realize that they had specific ways we need to answer this. Okay to proceed, yes. You're setting up with the file, make sure. All right, prefer web. Looks like you already have a standard account suite, fetching, selecting. Yep. And then detected framework Next.js using prefix next public found existing whatever replacing value. So let's make sure we get that this time as well. We're gonna use that. We're gonna use that. Like, all right. So would you like to add configuration files for Sanity Project in this Next.js folder? It is important you answer no, as this example is already set up with the required configuration files. Okay. Now we know we should have hit no for that. All right, and now we do see what they had told us before. We see the public project ID and data set being set correctly. So there is that. I think we just missed that step last time, so that's not a big deal. But I think now everything is set up. We're almost set up. The last piece is we need to connect, we need to allow our Next.js application to communicate directly to our Sanity application. And to do that, we need to add this read token. We're going to go into the Sanity Studio and we're going to set up that read token. Bring on API and then add API token. Permission to viewer, hit save. All right, so it's really easy, right? So next Sanity blog, that's the project. And then, got it. Let me make sure that matches. Z something something or another. Public Sanity ID. Hey, that project ID is wrong. Oh wait, maybe okay, hang on. I think I might be in the wrong account on Sanity. Yeah, I think I was in the wrong account. I think I'm in Google. All right, let's head back over to the browser. I'm pretty sure I was in the wrong account just now. No, not that. Yeah, there we go. All right, we gotta do this one more time, okay? We gotta do this one more time. So I am actually gonna go back a directory. Let's head back to the IDE. I'm gonna go rmrf this one more time. Okay, and then I'm gonna go all the way back to the beginning of the docs, right? So if we go back to browser. Oh no. Oh, here we go. Come back here. I think we pretty much know this by heart now, right? So go ahead and use this to stand up our experience. Alright, so let's navigate into our directory. Alright, now let's go back to the docs. It looks like the next thing we should do is the link and then the pull. Copy the... And then we'll copy that file over. Easy peasy, right? Set up the blog, yes. Yes. Link to it, yes. Alright. And then now let's do pull. All right, and then now we're gonna have to do that copy command. Have that. We don't really need to do that as a command. As we saw earlier, we can just, it's normal, but it doesn't matter. All right, then we'll just do our PNPM run setup. And this time we should see the Z project ID when we get to the very end of this. All right, yeah, I mean, not the Z, but the H, right? These are the 3 projects that we have in our Combo Junkie site. And this is the one that we'll be using for this, right? This is the reason we're using this is the one we actually deployed using Vercel. So it had already established this connection for us. Okay. All right, these are all the same settings that we did before, like an embedded Sanity Studio. I'm gonna say no here again. Yeah, we'll go ahead and overwrite these here. We'll do the blog schema. Oh wait, I said yes again. I keep saying yes to that one question, and I should be saying no. I can't believe I just did that twice in a row. That's what we would want. All right, HX2DO should match what we have in our studio. Go ahead. We are developers. We don't have a million tabs. Yep, HX2DO, right? So now we know we are connected to the right place. Let's go ahead and see what they want us to do next in the setup. So now we have to, yeah, this is the part where we actually create this API key, right? So we'll go API, and then I think it was API token. Yeah, here it is. Tokens, add API token. And then they gave us like a specific name, right? They wanted us to call it the next blog live preview, yeah, whatever. This can be literally anything you want. Viewer was what they wanted us to save it as. And then once we get that, copy the token. Yeah, here we go. So let's do this first. Come back to the IDE, and we will add this to environment.local, right? Oh, they already had a line in there for us. We can get rid of that. We can get rid of these 2 as well. These are already populated, so we can get rid of those. And I am going to sit this guy. Whoops. I'm going to sit him at the bottom, and then we'll go ahead and add that key that we got from here, right? All right. Okay. Next, we can run Next.js locally in development mode. So I'm going to do pnpm install and pnpm dev. So we'll go ahead and run that. All right, that looks done. That looks like it's done. All right, and then the next step, they say populate content, open your Sanity Studio. By default, okay, cool. So, yeah, there we go, right? We have a blog now. A statically generated blog example using Next.js. This is my local port, right? Local 3000. Right, so we're up and running now, right? The next thing we need to do, look at this, no post, get started by creating new posts. Let's see what this template is. So if we come into the app directory, there is our blog. We should have a page.tsx. Yep, here it is. And they call it the intro. They use portable text here. Hero post. I think this is a kind of like if one exists, you. Wait, but is this the actual index file? Yeah, this is saying it'll get, yeah, so they dumped all of this in one file. I don't know if that's the norm doing this though. Description. Where are these props coming from? These are probably coming from the studio somewhere. Here, let me check this. If I do this, like, where's it go? Right? So we get it here. We get it in the IDE. That's good. But do we get it in a browser? If we go to the browser and hit console reload, And I'll just clear this out and refresh the page. Do we get hello in here somewhere? Yes, we do. Yay. All right, so we found our home page. That's what I'm doing right now is super unorthodox, but I think if you're going to use like this template as your own, this is fine, but I would never do it like this. I think the first thing you would probably want to do is establish a very bare bones, like bare minimum blog template, which is kind of what this is, right? This is a bare bones Next.js implementation. It's just there's just a bunch of components that they give us out of the box that, I mean, I'm pretty sure once we start adding stories and get to know the template a little better, it'll all make sense. But there'll also likely be a bunch of cleanup that we do. So I really like this portable text component that they give you, where they're actually handling some of the easier HTML types like links and H5s and H6s. Kind of, it's giving you a play-by-play on like, hey, if you wanted to do this yourself, here's how you would implement certain block level elements, certain markup elements, right? I don't know why this is in something called marks. That's interesting, but doesn't matter. This is some Tailwind syntax here, so we know Tailwind is already enabled. This is going to be really hard to make a video out of. I don't know how we're going to make a training video from this. That's going to be kind of complicated. Anyway, let's just keep going. Let's go back over to the blog. So it says that we can head over to the studio page, and by default, it's going to send us to the presentation tool, which I'm really excited to see. So let's go /studio. That's going to take a minute to load. We look here, yeah, it's compiling the tool. Let's head back over to the browser. It looks like that is done. And there we go. We have to authenticate one more time, and we authenticated through Sanity using our Google account. So we'll do that. I think going forward, everything we'll do will be through GitHub, because it looks like GitHub is an authenticator for both Vercel, and it's an available authenticator for both Vercel and Sanity. So we might as well use that because it kind of hides our general email address from the world, and I think that's ideal. Remember rule number 1, right, of the stream: no doxing. so we want to make sure we're abiding that, even if it means no doxing yourself. So here we go, right? This is good. This is the home page, and you can see this is kind of their preview experience. It actually looks like a browser, but it's probably only browsing your site. Obviously, we don't have content connected to the home page, so we can't edit any of this stuff on the fly. But let's see what it looks like to have a new piece of content. Let's see. It has preview of the blog on the left. We're all set to do some content creation. Click on the plus create in the top left and select post. So we'll do that. Create, post. Yep, and content. If you've enabled AI Assist, you can click on the Sparkles button to generate a draft. Yeah, we'll do that. Summarize content. If you're in AI Assist, yeah, we'll do that. Cover image. Unsplash. Yeah, this is AI Assist. Yeah, that's good to know. We're going to definitely use AI Assist for all of these. And I think we get this for a set amount of time, right? I don't think we get to keep this forever. Okay, create reusable AI instructions that can be applied across all documents of certain types. No, I'm not going to do that. But I do think I can use Sparkles here. No, I guess not. I'm just going to say this is our Hello World blog. I always start with that blog. We'll generate us a slug. Content. Can I just generate some content? Run instruction. Oh, there it is. Nice. Nice. That is awesome. That is awesome. It's generating it in real time. Look at that. It's generating it for us. That's so cool. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, that is really cool. I don't care about the grammar or the. That is so cool. Okay, so their AI tools are connected and they are cooking with fire. All right, so now for our excerpt, we're going to do the same thing because we don't care to any of this ourselves. So I think this is going to run now. So I run this instruction, and I think it just starts populating the excerpt field. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It's interesting. I love it. All right, let's go ahead. They said something about generating it from Upsplash. I'm going to add an item here. And I'm not entirely sure what this one gives us, but this doesn't look like it's actually set up to give us an image. Let's see what the instruction guide says. They may do something with, here's a cheat sheet here. They may do something specific to imagery. So let's see, is there anything here for images? I don't see anything for images. I'm just gonna do a search here. No, there's nothing for images, right? So we'll just add our own image. That's fine. We'll add, yeah, a nice little combo junkie old school image here. This is so cool. This is really cool. Let's go ahead and use AI Assist for this as well, which they did that by default for me, right? I'm definitely gonna showcase this tomorrow. This is so cool. And this is the alt text for this image. A man is smiling in front of a banner that says, "Learning to code." Good job, AI. A man is smiling. That's so cool. A man is smiling. All right, let's generate ourselves an author. You know what? I'm going to clear this out. I wonder if... No, you can't do it. I was going to say, I wonder if you can use AI to generate the content. That would have been pretty cool if you could have done that. But I'm just going to create the author right now, like in the UI. We know this author's name is Combo Junkie. This is one of the OGs. Right? We'll upload his mug. It's going to be... Go in here and look for a selfie. I have some images our selfies. We'll use the one that you all have come to learn and love. And then the alt text here, let's see what the AI comes back with. A bald man with a beard is wearing a Why are they playing me like this? A bald man with a beard is wearing a purple shirt. That's so crazy. All right, we're going to publish this. Oh my god, and that whole time I was building this out, this left rail was showing us what this would look like. Oh, I love this system. This system is pretty cool. All right, so we're going to click into Hello World, but instead of it navigating to Hello World, it actually just anchors us to this area of the editing experience, right? So if I click on Explore the Basics, it should take us to the place in my document where... See, it takes us to the excerpt, right? If I come back to Hello World, does it snap us? I think it does snap us. Yeah, it snaps us. So now what we want to do is we want to actually, now that we've published this, we want to go edit that piece of content, right? So I'm actually going to close this out. Now we have the documents on this page. And I want to go to structure here. I'm going to go to posts. And I'll go Combo Junkie, and I think I'm going to be able to preview this. Let's go to the presentation tool. There it is, Hello World, right? So now I believe this left rail should change. Please hold tight while document is synced. This usually happens right after the document has been published, and it should not take more than a few seconds. So I'm gonna go to this hello world here. Here we go, we did it. We just have to go to where it's used on, right? That's how you get to the actual editing experience. And now, look at that. I'm actually in the editing experience here. I can snap to any of these. Look at this. So welcome to the world of programming where the only limit is your imagination. This post will take you on a journey through the basics of software engineering using the universal language of Hello World as our guide. This is really cool stuff, guys. This is really cool stuff. And recent stories, of course, we don't have any recent stories but this one. So, you know, Song Ball. Shout out to System Love. I didn't even see my boys in the chat. What's good? What's good? Oh, I'm so late. Oh, man, I'm so late. Yo, that's crazy. That's so crazy. These are some of my best friends. All right, so it looks like we are good to go. I'm gonna come out of studio mode now, and I'm gonna just see what that looks like on the actual experience here. So we're just gonna go. All right, look at that. We got our beautiful mug there. We got our Hello World post. This is our featured post. If we had more content, we'd see more content on the page. I'm gonna go ahead and click Hello World. It looks like I'm still in editing experience, but oh, this is just saying that I can edit any of these because I am authenticated, because I'm here. If I were to, here, let's see one thing really quick. I think there's a, check this out. I bet if I go incognito, I just went incognito, and yes, it's working exactly how I thought it would. I don't see those blue boxes around anything I'm hovering on when I'm in incognito. So that's just for someone that's already authenticated for the studio. So, and that's only when you're in draft mode. Did you see that? I just had a draft mode indicator up there. This is lit. This is crazy. That was pretty interesting. I really like that. All right, so now that we have this configured and done correctly, and we have one piece of content, the next step is to actually deploy this to production, right? We want to put this code in our studio to a point where we can at least submit a preview mode, right? So, after it's deployed, okay, no, if you already deployed with Vercel earlier, you can skip the steps, deploy your local project to Vercel, push to GitHub, and import to Vercel. When you import your project to Vercel, make sure you click the environment, blah, blah, blah. All right, so I don't know if I need to do anything. I think the project is already connected. So if I just hit this application and then go to the domain, so the question is, how do I now, oh, there's our content. There's our content. We did it, boys. We did it, boys. Good job, ladies and germs. We did it. All right, on that note, guys, I think we're going to call it a day. That was a lot of fun. We learned so much about these new tools. I cannot wait to show some of this off tomorrow. That's incredible how easy, how intuitive and simple that was to pull off. That was really exciting. All right, guys, hope you learned a lot. Hope you guys are excited for another stream tomorrow night. We're going to be back, and we're going to be doing some discovery, right? We're going to find out how hard it is to create our own Next.js application and then connect that to Vercel Insanity manually. I bet Vercel gives you a path forward to do that without having to do too much. But we'll see tomorrow. We're going to tinker with this a bit, see how to configure all of this on our own. You know what I want to do? I want to make one change, okay? I want to see what the deployment looks like for the preview server. So I'm not going to end it just yet. I want to do that first. So we saw that this console log worked. We're going to go ahead and get rid of that. But what if we changed... so this is our H1, right? What if we said here, what if we said hello world here? Okay, what if we just say hello world here? And we always want that to say hello world. So if we go back to the blog landing page, we need to go in our local environment though. So we need to be here. If we go back to the landing page, yep, we can see this says hello world now. If I say hello world 111, save it, go back to the browser, yep, that always updates. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna say cool title here. And I'm gonna I'm gonna save this. And not only am I gonna save it, once I realize it's there, I'm actually gonna push this change out now. Okay, I'm gonna push this change out. So we do have some things that we need to pump out anyway. We'll go ahead and push that. We will push the changes that we made here. Looks like we made a lot of changes, actually. Go ahead and push that. env, we'll go ahead and push that. And then schema.ts, we'll go ahead and not push that. Why are those all erroring? Schema.ts is looking for something that doesn't exist. Category post and author. I guess that's because those definitely don't exist. Yeah, because all of my schemas are in documents, right? They're somewhere else. So there must be a different place that I'm there must be a different place that we're grabbing all of these values from. Where is that? Maybe it's in that studio. Yeah, it's in here, I bet. Yeah, but how are they getting the schemas if it's not there? All right, I think we can just look in the studio to see where they're pulling it from. Config. Yeah, here's where they're actually pulling in the schema. Okay, so they pull it in directly in the config.ts. So we can actually get rid of this one entirely. We don't need this at all. We don't need that at all. And if we head back over to the browser, we'll see that that doesn't break anything. We still have the blog working. If we load up the studio, that should still be working. Like, everything should still be connected. No errors here. Everything's still working. All of our content types still loading as expected. Yep, there's that. There's the content types. Yeah, that was just that was a rollover, like a fallover file from that other studio that we set up. Yep, so we can go ahead and refresh. Yep, so we can just refresh what we're going to be pushing in. So let's just make sure we're pushing in the right stuff. H.tsx. Yep, and then yeah, this is good. All right, so we're going to do a git commit on this, right? Well, first let's see what branch we're on. We're on main. We're gonna do a git commit -m testing preview deployment. And we're gonna see what this looks like, right? Because what should happen here is this should deploy our change to the actual. I'm gonna do a git push here. No configured push destination specific URL. Wait, I thought I was on a remote repository. What? Alright, I'll just publish this. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why is that, That's so weird. Wait, why is I'm confused why this isn't letting me deploy this change. That should be super easy. Alright, well, maybe I still need to do link. I think maybe you just have to link these. That doesn't make sense, though. We not have a Git directory in here? Yeah, we do. So if I do Git branch, okay, and then why can't I do Git push? That's really odd. I've never dealt with this before. So maybe I'll just do git remote add, then go grab my repository information. All right, and then that's that. And then what is the name? I think it's just Next Sanity Blog. All right, and then can I just do git push? I've never had to deal with this before. Like, this is the first time I've ever seen this. Let me see if it updated it may have updated this already. Yeah, the only initial commit is that first one. Looks like it's just that very first commit. Yeah, it's totally just that very first commit. Oh my god, I'm so confused. I literally am about to look up. I can't believe them. Git remote add origin, git at GitHub, whatever, whatever. The heck is all that? I might as well walk you guys through this too, because this is part of it. So I'm gonna come here and just start taking some notes. Alright, so it looks like what they want me to do. Yeah, so that's fine. So basically git remote add origin that. Alright, let me show you guys what they're having me do. So it's basically, this is the command, git remote add origin, and then all of my details. And then I guess it's gonna be this, but instead of master, it's gonna be main. Do not read from the repository. Make sure you have the correct access rights and the repository exists. So let's do get. Let's do get. Nope. No, I think it's just get list. Get config list. Yeah, there we go. All right. Yeah, no, that's right. That's weird. So what if I just did git push? You know what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna, you know what? I hate to do this. I really hate to do what I'm about to do. Kind of pees me, but I'm just gonna pull this the normal way and see if I can make a change that way. So I'll do, believe it or not, I can't believe I'm about to do this, but I guess we didn't change much, right? We just made some content. So I'm gonna delete this directory. All right, and then I'm gonna do a checkout the long way, right? I'm gonna clone that blog. All right, and then I'm gonna go into it. And then now I'm just gonna make a change. I'm just gonna make like a random change. So there's all that, but why is that broken? All right, I don't know why that's broken. I'm actually going to let's restart it. Let's restart it. All right, is that still broken? It is still broken. Oh, this is so annoying. I don't know what that error is. It might just be because I don't have everything installed yet. You know what I mean? Like, I probably still have to enable all the different things like I did before. Maybe this is literally me guessing at this. All right, let's go back to the starter kit. Let's do all of this over again, starting with just the link and the. All right, and then we'll do the pull. All right. This. Set up. All right, and then we'll do our. We already did our token, but we have. Oh, we shouldn't have deleted it. We should have grabbed it. We'll have to make another token. Oh, I still have it open. It's gonna be inside of here. Okay, nice. All right, that should be good. And then now I should just be able to test that worked. And look at how quickly we just did that. Now that we've run through it a couple times, that was super simple. All right, it says that we're missing something now. Oh, we have to actually build the site. We haven't done this yet. Yeah, you have to build it first. All right, and now that looks like it worked that time. Yep, and we're back, right? It's back now. So now I should be able to do what I was trying to do before, like make a change, deploy it, and we should be able to see that deployment happen automatically in our Vercel environment. So we're gonna say full title here. All right, I'll save that. I'll head back over to the browser and let's just make sure we see cool title here, which we do. So now we can head back to the IDE and let's see if this is just a stand. We should just be in the standard Git flow now, right? So I'm gonna do. I'm gonna come back over to the files that we changed. We'll refresh this just in case. All right. And I think that it's preventing us from. It's actually preventing us from connecting those environment variables and stuff, which is a little odd. I thought those would be. Yeah, this is ignored. This is on the Git ignore. So this is just going to be in your local. And whenever you need it, I guess you would in turn, yeah, because you don't want this floating around in your code base, right? So you would need to do npx link and all that good stuff. So here, if we go into the Vercel, yeah, it has everything it needs in here now, right? All right, let's see what that looks like when we actually commit these changes and push them up. I'm going to do that same commit. Well, first let's see what branch we're on. I think we're on main, yeah. So we're going to do git commit -m testing preview deployment. All right, and then I'm going to try and push that this time. There we go. That's what I would normally expect to see when you're pushing something to a repository. We got to figure out why that didn't work out of the box before. But now that I've pushed that to my repository, I should have a, if I go back to code here, oh, I pushed that to main though. So that's actually going to deploy it. That's actually going to deploy it to production. If we go back over to our Vercel app, we should actually see that that change is in, this change should be live in a minute. Let me see the deployments. Wait, hang on. Let's see. Yeah, it didn't go. So I just submitted code directly into main. I would have guessed that would have gone immediately. That's actually surprising that it didn't. Let me just make sure this is in place. Because it might be hooked up to PRs being merged into main. I think directly pushing something to main doesn't do anything. Yeah, there's cool title here. So the question is, did this actually this is, that's the question. Why is this not updated? All right, we're going to try this a different way. We're going to go create a new branch. Because I know that's the preview. That's the workflow, right? You create a new branch. All right, so I'm going to go branches. I am going to add a new branch. Testing, preview, deployments. All right, I'm going to create this branch. And then what we're going to do is we're going to check this branch out in our code. Make the change, push it up. And then we're going to first see if the preview worked correctly. And if that works, we're going to say cool title here as well, right? Just to make sure. And there's that change. We're going to go ahead and stage that. Then we're going to commit it. And this is testing another preview build. Yep, and then normally this is hooked up to Jira and all of those systems. We haven't done that yet, but we will eventually. So now that I push this, when I go back over to GitHub, I should get the option to commit this branch. So I'll go code, there's the change. I'll compare the PR. We know that this is just going to be a really minor change here. Full title as well. So now what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to create the PR, and Vercel is going to deploy it, right? So I'm going to go back to the Vercel now and see what it's up to. So I just can't remember what to click to get to it. All right, there it is. But all right, testing another here we go. This is it. This is it. This is it. All right, this is it. Okay, so you can see here, it was actually building this, right? It was in the middle of building it, but now it's ready. There it is. There it is. That's our preview. Okay, that's our preview. We did it. We did it. All right, now that we have that done, the next thing to do is to make a different change, right? So we want to merge that change into the live environment, right? So all checks passed. This went without a hitch. We're going to go ahead and merge this into main, right? So this is us pushing it into the main branch. And Vercel should do another deploy. So it says that this branch was successfully deployed. Okay. So now that that's happened, I'm going to go over to the live site. This is still the preview site. I'll close that out. Let's go back to Vercel. Let's go into the live instance. And then let's go to the page and see if we... So we got the... Oh, so maybe it was just taking a while to build. This is the first one. Remember we did this one first. All right, wait. Let's go back to our... I'm going to close out of that. I don't need that anymore. Yeah, I think it's just taking a while to build. Really hard to find this. Previews. This should say as well. The crazy thing is, I think it's just taking a while to make it to production. So here's the, I think this is the preview URL. Like, maybe I have to do all of this. But we know this is, I think this is the preview though, right? Oh no, that's the real thing. That's the real deal. This is the main, this is main, right? This is the real deal now, I think. Get main project for sale app, maybe? No, this is totally it right here. Oh, it's there. It just it takes forever. I don't know where the progress bar is. Like, how do you see where it is? I don't know where it was. Yeah, it just says push to the main branch, right? So if we would have waited, I think we would have saw it eventually, right? Had we waited for a bit. No, get me out of here. I don't want to enable this. Come on, really? You're gonna force me to do it? Yeah, I think if we'd waited, we would have eventually saw it reflected. But this is our fake URL, and I think you can hit this from anywhere. Like I think I can go to my work machine and hit this and actually see this pop up. All right, so now we are officially done. We've done everything we set out to do today, right? We created our Vercel account, deployed our Next.js application, connected it to Sanity, made a change, deployed that with Vercel. We saw the preview environment, and now we see the live results on the web. This is fantastic. All right, guys, we're going to end it there. Hope you guys had a good time. Hope you learned a lot. Oh, man, that was crazy. That was so much fun. Oh, what's up, Unc? Thanks for joining the stream. Call me right at the dead end. You guys have been great. I will see you all on the next one. Peace out, my guys and gals. Man, that was fun. This is like one of the best.